Fort Mercius is old and strong. Its reputation for durability is equal to that of Aryan Road. Are we really going to leave this to Claude, with a plan concocted by Hilda of all people? I would like to, but I am always troubled by how secretively that man devises his schemes. Let us hope the end result is not too outlandish.
My relationship with the Boar Prince began even before I was born. He was always by my side. You might even say that, at one time, we were best friends. I couldn't fathom the depth of his hatred for the Empire. So much anguish. Could I have saved him? Could I have stopped him?
It's always so peaceful coming back here. But it's hard to relax knowing we have to go out on another expedition again so soon. And assaulting that huge keep. That sounds hard. Oh, really hard. Don't you think it'll be hard? Of course you'd say that. Why'd I even ask?
Fort Mercius is next, huh? Ah, the memories. It's a huge stronghold in my father's domain. The town's completely surrounded by high walls. I used to run around there when I was a kid. Way back when a fortress was just a playground for me. Yeah, those were the days.
The fish in this pond get fed every day, so they're swimming all lazy and serene. But the only reason they're kept here is so that they can one day be used for food. But the fish don't know that, so they just swim around happily. It's a bit of a miserable thought. But aren't soldiers much the same?
A class reunion on the battlefield? That's bleak. That must have been so hard on everyone. You gotta keep looking after them all. I mean, they still look to you for guidance, you know?
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is it true that we'll be assaulting Fort Mercius next? That doesn't sound like the brightest idea. I've heard that it's built to withstand an attack from even the largest of armies. And not to tell you how to do your job, but don't do it. I'm not ready to say my final goodbyes to everyone.
I hardly recognize everyone. Their faces have changed so much. More experience in the eyes, and more pain. I'm glad that they're stronger, but I hate to think they've all become hardened killers. Look after them, okay? Try to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Among our prisoners of war, there were quite a few people who served His Highness. One of them stated that the Empire was involved with the tragedy of Dusker. If this is true, His Highness's motives seem clear. I can't help but feel that perhaps I should have been fighting by his side. No, not anymore. I am where I belong. Those of us still on this plane of existence will carry the torch. The inhumane actions of the Empire must not be repeated.
I never used to care whether I lived or died. But after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
You know, Professor, laying siege to a keep is like asking a girl out on a date. First, you get past her defenses, then you make your move. Ha! I knew you'd get it, Professor. Anyway, you know more about tactics than me, so I don't know why I'm offering you advice.
O Goddess, hear my prayer. Please bless the deceased with peace everlasting, and may his soul rest in tranquility. You know, I used to see him praying quite often when I would come to the cathedral at night. I wonder who it was he prayed for back then.
So many people died in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater, with the stage an entire continent. Even if an accident happens on stage, the next day you have to sing as though nothing happened. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play.
I've come here after getting chased out of the Empire. There's no place for our kind there anymore. But there are still many inside Empire territory who haven't abandoned their faith in the Church of Seros. I pray that one day we'll get the chance to rebuild the church within the Empire.
Doesn't matter how sturdy the keep. If the commander defending it is incompetent, it can fall as easy as anything. That's what they say, at least. I wonder if that applies to Fort Mercius. All I know is, if I was the Emperor, I'd never in a million years assign an incompetent commander to a fort as important as that one.
Edelgard, Dimitri, and our own Claude. All the house leaders from way back when, assembled again at Gronder. I wonder what their thoughts were as they headed out to the battlefield.
I've heard the dues passed on, just like His Highness. You're right. I don't think anyone's found his body, so I guess he might still be out there. If somehow he's still alive, I hope we'll meet again.
You know when you work your muscles and they start screaming? That means you gotta be nice to them. If your muscles are hungry, you gotta feed them. And let them rest when they're tired. Of course! If my muscles hurt, then I hurt. If they're hungry, well then I'm hungry too. What's with the confused face, Professor? You look like you don't get a word I'm saying.
Standing face to face with those whom I went to school with. On the field of battle. How inhuman war is. How horrifying. My heart feels shattered. It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
I have excitement in my heart for secret tactics. I enjoy attacks that are surprising. Yes, hunting is doing surprise attacks on prey. Surprise attacks are safe with friends. Fewer injuries.
I've come to deliver vegetables we harvested in the village to the monastery's dining hall. Because of the season, I couldn't really pick that much, but I wanted to help you guys out, even just a little bit. We're busily planting seeds, so when things start to grow, I'll be back.
Hey there! We merchants of the Alliance territories were excited to hear of your victory in the last battle. We don't much like the prospect of doing business under the heel of the Empire. The Alliance is what we know and love, but more than that, it's low on regulations, which is great for business. Please keep up the good work, Professor. The merchants of the world are on your side.
Claude takes care of the strategy, you direct the troops, and the rest of us focus on the fighting. As long as the system keeps working, we can win any battle, no matter the odds. That's what everyone's saying, anyway. Hope you can keep up with our expectations, Professor.
After the battle at Gronder, some people claim they saw my father. They said he walked off the battlefield clutching His Highness's dead body. So long as Father's alive, I don't need anything else. I hope to see him again one day.
Dimitri, the late Prince of Fargus. He despised the Empire with all his heart. He should not have tried leading an army while his emotions were holding him captive. No. If a leader's emotions overcome them, others must step in to prevent poor decision-making. Why did his followers not intervene? His attendants? I used to call Edelgard my leader, and now she is running amok. I am duty-bound to stop her.
Ah, Professor, I have a question for you. Have you heard of the Death Knight? I'm referring to that Imperial general who has been operating under that moniker. Well now, I don't know very much myself, only that he's caused a great deal of havoc in the West. Nothing is certain yet, but I get the feeling we'll have to face him soon enough.
After that great battle earlier, the balance of power in Fodlan has shifted greatly. To get revenge for all our fallen friends, we'll have to stake our lives on the fight that lies before us.
There's word that Claude has developed a rather interesting stratagem to capture the fortress. You know Fort Mercius's nickname, I assume, the stubborn old general? But there must be one or two gaps in its defenses.
As I suspected, they seem to be supporting the Imperial Army now. Though I don't quite know who they are yet. Nor do I know what tricks they'll use against us next. We can't afford to let our guard down.
The battle at Gronder Field was gruesome, wasn't it? But perhaps it's irresponsible to look away, to close our eyes to the horrors of war. Thank you. But I think I do, actually. As survivors, we must ensure that all these lives were not lost in vain. We must see the tragic foundations upon which we'll build our future. May an age of peace rise from the ashes, so that all this sacrifice means something.
Each step closer to Enbar, I'm reminded of another part of my past. Riches and poverty, glory and failure. That city has it all. And, if I'm honest, sometimes I miss it. That's how the past works, though, isn't it? It's always a different story than what you really lived.
Fort Mercius is the Empire's single most fortified military installation. Utterly impregnable, they say. I wonder, do you happen to know the nickname given to Fort Mercius? That one is a fortress that stands at Fodlan's throat. Seems Fodlans give everyone and everything a nickname. Why, you were called the Ashen Demon. Myself, I have been called the Father of Crestology, which is a nickname as well as a title, I suppose.
Guess what I noticed? I can see further than most other people can see. But I can't figure the point of seeing further than an arrow can fly, since I can't shoot what I see. Yeah, I suppose it could be real useful for finding Lady Rhea, too. Thanks, Professor. I think I get it now. I'm gonna put my eyes to real good use.
Some say they saw Gilbert, who used to serve in the Knights of Seros, at Gronder. Apparently, he was originally a Knight of the Kingdom who served Prince Dimitri. He was an exceptional knight. I wish I could have fought by his side.
Fort Mercius is a keep that was constructed to defend the imperial capital, Enbar. We cannot enter the capital without first capturing that fort. But once we have it, the city should be almost entirely at our mercy. Whatever strategy you have in mind, I have faith that it will lead to victory.
Each time we take a step forward, more blood is spilled. But by spilling that blood, we're able to take yet another step forward. War is always a cruel affair, but luckily we have each other to lean on. We've steeled our hearts. We won't be broken. If anyone's starting to feel the strain, I'm sure just hearing from you will reassure them. Please, do whatever you can to keep their morale up. Oh, and about taking the fort, I'll need a tad more time to prepare our plan. It's called an impregnable fortress for a reason, after all. My contingencies need contingencies this time, or we may not pull it off.
I wonder how far we can get with this plan, dressing up like Imperial soldiers to sneak in. Claude said it could use some refinement. Any ideas? Claude dressed as a woman? I don't understand what the point of that would be. On second thought, let's just stick to the plan as originally conceived. That seems safer.
Hilda's quite a tactician, disguising ourselves as enemy soldiers to sneak in undetected. A stroke of brilliance. With this strategy, we can really snatch victory from the jaws of deceit. Ah, rats! You've seen through my cunning punning.
Please tell Claude not to give us any more ridiculous orders. I've reached out through all of my channels, but there are limits to these things. I'll have to recruit an entire town's worth of people if I ever plan on making enough Imperial uniforms.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. I hear there was a huge battle recently. Glad to see you made it back safe and sound. Maybe there's life after death, or maybe that's just a bunch of pretty words. Either way, we should live like our time here is all we've got.
Got a wager for you. My friend says there's twice as many women in Abyss as men. You think he's right? No way. You got eyes? Take a look around.
I hear Hilda proposed a genius plan, that right? We've got a little strategist on our hands. Not too long ago, she was just a tiny girl who couldn't do a thing on her own. Now look at her. She's the fiercest of the fierce. I wonder what Holst would say if he saw her now. I bet he'd be proud. Just like me.
It's not that I don't sympathize with Lady Edelgard's goals, mind you, but perhaps not to the point of shedding blood for her ideals. Of course, but I've gone down a different road. Peace in Fodlan and a restored House Nouvelle shall be my guiding star as I blaze my own trail.
People have always fought, I guess. Bandits and nobles clashing over territory, things like that. So before the war, when folks talked about how peaceful everything was, I thought, what continent are you living on? I get it now. A few isolated skirmishes here and there are nothing compared to a full-blown war. The one truly peaceful place I've known was the village where I grew up.
If the Empire rallies its forces and attacks Garrick Mach, I'm not so sure Abyss will be okay. If we're not careful, it'll end up buried in rubble. Ever the valiant one. But nobody ever knows how a war will turn out. That's part of the deal, you know. Maybe I'm being paranoid, but I want to ensure there's still a refuge for people to escape to.
Please, you can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army. I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. But now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong?
I hear there was a pretty spectacular battle up there recently, but we don't hear a lot about that stuff. There was a lot of talk when it first started, but 5 years on, it's just a fact of life. What? There have been lots of battles on the surface recently? I hadn't heard. See what I mean?
I delivered our letter to Fort Mercius. I don't think they suspected anything.
I knew I was right to entrust that task to you. You've got that honest kind of face that makes it easy to fool people.
Is that meant to be a compliment?
What did you write in the letter?
I informed them that reinforcements were on the way. It would have been suspicious for troops to show up unannounced.
So, the plan is?
We'll disguise ourselves as reinforcements from the Imperial capital and sneak into Fort Mercius.
Oh, you used my disguise plan after all.
We've also procured Imperial Army uniforms.
Ooh, good work. I knew this was the only way.
However, that alone wouldn't be enough.
You did say the plan needed a little more refinement. Are you going to dress up like Edelgard, Claude?
I'm not sure that would accomplish much. In the letter, I included the name of the Imperial General leading the reinforcements. While we're heading to the fort, a separate army is going to attack us.
We're going to be attacked?
That's all just for show, though. It'll be our allies who are attacking us.
Oh, I get it. We're going to make it look like the Alliance is attacking Imperial reinforcements.
Right. When the troops in the fortress panic and open up the gates, we're in.
I'd love nothing more than for this plan to work, but I've got some bad news for you. Apparently, the notorious Death Knight has been placed in charge of defending Fort Merceus.
The one who kidnapped Flame. The Death Knight. I did not wish to ever think of him again.
He got some acclaim in the battle to subjugate Western Fargus. They say he holds the most military prowess in the Empire.
Even so, we've got Teach here to command us. All will be well. You have to trust us.
So your big plan is to just trust your professor? Really, boy?
Under the professor's guidance, I'm sure we'll manage somehow. We're counting on the tactics you learned from Captain Gerald.
Prepare yourselves, everyone. It's time. Teach, this is for your ears only, but there's actually one more part to my plan. I had hoped it wouldn't come to this, but I have no choice. Absolutely. We can't afford to hold anything back. Thanks to Edelgard's strength, the Imperial army is more unified than I would have expected. It was a painful realization, but after our battle at Gronder Field, it's clear that we can't win if we don't pull out all the stops. I also realized something else during that battle. There really is something special about you, Teach. The reason we were all able to keep our cool in the midst of the chaos was because we all trust in you, in your command and in your strength. Everyone here believes that we will win as long as we have you on our side. Our faith in you is borderline religious. You and I, we have what it takes to free Fodlan from the Empire's rule. I know in my heart that we'll make it through to witness the world after all the fighting has ceased.
That woman approaches. Will Death's scythe claim you, or will I fall to that sword of yours?
While awaiting reinforcements, the Alliance predicts the Empire will continue to fortify its defenses at Fort Merceus. Knowing this risk, Claude and a select few advance, hoping to gain entry to the fort through deception.
General, reinforcements have arrived from the capital. They clashed with Alliance forces in the outskirts of the city, but should enter the fortress soon.
You let them in? Make haste and slaughter them all!
Huh? Why?
They are enemies. Slaughter them all. I will not say it again.
We made it in. Professor, take control from the south. I have my own task to do from here. There are preparations to be made for our secret plan. An impregnable fortress is a wide-open prairie once you get inside. From here, we'll attack from the north and south at once.
No different than a prairie, you say? You've got a strange head on your shoulders, kiddo.
For Nadir the Undefeated, this should be as easy as a walk in a meadow, right?
Ha! Well, goddess or death god or whoever they may be, let's crush them to dust.
The time is ripe.
Report! The Death Knight is moving. It looks like they're abandoning the fortress and making an escape.
We need to put an end to this here and now. Come on, let's circle around and cut off his retreat. Hey, how long's it been? 5 years? Who'd have thought you'd end up an Imperial General?
So, you wish to die?
As antisocial and unhinged as ever, I see.
I have no need of you. You're stronger now. Whether I kill you or you kill me, I'm looking forward to this. If you desire to slay me, follow. The appointed hour is at hand.
He's hiding something. It's annoying to do what he's telling us to, but we don't really have a choice. After him!
Hey, kiddo, what was with that javelin of light?
Javelin of light. Well, that describes it pretty well. The fortress was supposedly impregnable, but look at it now. It's hard to imagine that the Empire would do something like that. But if not them, then who? And for what purpose? If they wanted to kill us, then why wait until now to use it?
We almost died just now, and without an answer to any of that. Speaking of unanswered questions, why is Nardell here? Care to explain? I get the feeling there's something you two are keeping from us.
I'll go ahead and see my subordinates off to Elmira, kiddo.
Wait, Nader! Are you really just gonna leave me here and run away?
I hope to see you again, Judith. And you too, Professor. I'll be praying for your safety.
Nader, are you saying that Nardell is actually Nader the Unstoppable?
It's actually Nader the Undefeated. Almirans love grand titles.
I knew he was no ordinary person, but to think he was the great hero of Elmira.
Hey, can we really afford to be chatting right now? If another one of those javelins of light falls, we're all dead.
Claude, there are things I wish to ask you, but first we must hurry and withdraw.
Right you are. Come on, everyone. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Claude, it is time for you to explain. Why are you so close with an Almiran general?
Well, he did quite a bit for me when I was younger.
When you were younger? So, before you joined House Regan. How and where did you meet him? There aren't many opportunities to meet a general from Elmira in Fodlan.
If that's what you believe, it's only because that's what you've been led to believe. After all, we have Cyril here among our allies, and he was born in Elmira.
Hey now, don't drag me into this.
There's a big, wide world outside of Fodlan, and it's overflowing with different places and cultures. You think interacting with outsiders is odd, but isn't avoiding contact with the outside world far more unnatural?
Don't change the subject, Claude. To the people of the Alliance, the Almirans are...
It's true that there's a history of hostility, but why should that mean we're doomed to remain hostile forever? The Almirans aren't monsters. Just look at Cyril. Does he look like a monster to you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Right, Teach? What did you think when you met Nader? I'll tell him you said that. And I'm sure that if all of you got to know him, all of your preconceived notions would change, too. I know you guys, and you aren't the type of people to reject someone without trying to get to know them.
But how did those Almirans even get past Fodlan's throat? I doubt my brother would just let them pass without saying anything.
Yeah, about that. I actually made sure your brother met Nader in advance.
What? Lord Holst met with an Almiran general?
Oh, so that's why you were so interested in my brother. But wait, They're supposed to be bitter enemies. They've fought each other several times before.
I know, it was a big gamble. But rather than having me try to convince them myself, I knew it would be easier to just have them meet. They were taken aback at first, but sure enough, they hit it off. They were even drinking to their newfound brotherhood before parting.
It makes sense. If you take the greatest heroes away from the battlefield, of course they'll get along.
Fighting 1 minute and drinking together the next? Men are so weird.
Ultimately, someone's bloodline has nothing to do with the friendships they forge. Relations between the Alliance and Elmyra is a matter we'll tackle in the future. Still, I want to take this opportunity to make one thing clear to all of you. After we defeat the Empire, I intend to tear down the walls that separate Fodlan from the outside world. I want to let people and goods come and go freely, and in doing so, eradicate prejudices about the outside world.
Huh?
Would it even be possible to achieve such a thing? It directly contradicts the Seros' tenets.
Does it? I'm not so sure. In any case, I'm prepared for the inevitable protests and criticism. New ways of doing things are always met with resistance. During our time at the Officers' Academy, all of you overcame the barriers of birthplace, status, and ideology. Having gone through so much with all of you, I have no doubt that, in time, you'll understand.
I guess there were a lot of different people there. People we wouldn't have met through the normal course of our lives.
Dusker once opposed the kingdom, but there was someone from Dusker there. Brigid once invaded the Empire, but the Brigid princess was there. We ate at the same table as those people. Sure, sometimes we didn't get along, but other times we helped each other out. Can we really draw a definitive line in the sand and say one group of people is all good and another all bad? If I can realize my dream, Fodlan will be reborn. The old age will end, and we'll welcome a new dawn.
But if...
Save your objections for another day, Gloucester boy. That said, there are more pressing matters to discuss. Our next step is to invade the Imperial capital, right?
That's right. I'm sure Edelgard is eagerly awaiting our arrival in Enbar. Reinforcements from the Alliance Lords should arrive soon. Let's make sure we're ready to greet them.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Garland Moon. The Chaos of War. Claude's plan to call in Elmyran forces succeeds, and the Alliance army captures Fort Mercius. Before they can celebrate their victory, javelins of light rain down from the sky and destroy the fort. Forced to temporarily evacuate, the Alliance army regroups at Garreg Mach until it is ready to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital.
It's almost time to invade the Imperial capital. We still don't know where Rhea is, but if she's alive, she's likely in Enbar. Hopefully we manage to find her without too much trouble. If the Empire has some reason to keep Rhea alive, then she's alive. I'm sure you must be anxious to see her again. Well, if that's what you want, I'll do my best to make it happen. But we're going up against Edelgard here. It won't be so simple.
Our next stop is the Imperial capital. We've sure come a long way.
What are you talking about? This is Garreg Mach. It's where we started.
I didn't mean literally, Raphael. I was speaking symbolically.
My earnest desire to protect the Alliance has carried me this far. It will not fail me. I am sure the rest of you all have your own reasons to fight as well. Of course, I understand that the fight will not end until we defeat the Empire. And now the time has arrived at long last to march on the Imperial capital and defeat the Emperor.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? We all come from different places and have different goals and dreams. But thanks to those two, we were all able to come together and overcome all sorts of challenges.
You are referring to Claude and the Professor, I assume? Even within our own odd group, those two are particularly unusual.
Oh, so you are aware that you're odd.
Well, it was simply a figure of speech. I am speaking about Claude and the Professor right now.
They're like the wind in the trees.
Huh? Claude and the Professor are? What does that even mean? And who is which?
Oh, I was just thinking that if we're the birds, then those two are like the trees and the wind. The Professor is a great tree that kindly embraces us and watches over us as we perch on its branches. And Claude is like the wind, pushing us forward as we soar across the open sky.
The metaphor about the Professor is solid, but I think Claude just blows us around on a whim. Still, we owe him a lot.
I think that's beautiful, Marianne. I can really picture it. When this war is over, I'd love to paint a picture of those two. Oh, and of all the people we've fought with as well.
You mean like a historical painting? I like that. Maybe our descendants will look at it a long, long time from now.
I must say, that piques my interest. I look forward to seeing how you portray my valiant efforts.
When you put it that way, we may be witnessing one of the greatest events in Fodlan's history. It's a lot of pressure, but the sense of duty I feel is even stronger than the fear.
I'm just happy to be here with all you. I won't get scared, no matter what we face.
We have our goal. Enbar, the Imperial capital. Let's get to work.
The Death Knight is no ordinary knight. I will prey upon him. I will quench my blade's thirst with his blood. His focus is on fighting you, I'm sure. But mine will be the last face he sees.
5 years ago, Edelgard said a thing to me. Bridget is a vassal of the Empire. But she also said I always have the freedom to be choosing whether I am with or not with her. I will become the ruler of Bridget. So she said I must make my own path. So now, my path and her path will be colliding.
Cornelia took control of the kingdom capital, and then founded the Fargus dukedom in the Old Kingdom territory. Still, Fargus has remained a mere spectator with regard to our actions so far. It's not so surprising when you consider that they can't even get a handle on the Fraldarius territories.
They used to call Enbar the city of Saros. To assault it together with the knights is surreal. If Saros were alive today, I wonder what she might make of our war. In Enbar, there was once a southern church, and apparently a bishop was dispatched to it. 100 years ago, the southern church became entangled in an insurrection. Until 5 years ago, the Empire and the church maintained a certain distance from one another.
Professor! My mother might be in the city. I don't have many good memories of her, if I'm being honest, but she's dearer to me than my father. If you happen to see her, please make sure she's not caught up in all the fighting. She's only a civil servant, so hopefully she takes a cue from her burning and stays inside. If we can win this war, then Claude will be the king of Fodlan, and maybe he'll tear down the wall that separates Fodlan from the outside world. I know it's hard to imagine, but I really hope he does. It would be so much better if people could live together instead of apart. I might even be able to live an ordinary life in the world Claude envisions.
In the opera, actors came and went all the time, but the people behind the scenes would stay forever. I'll bet I'd know a few of them now, even after all these years. They've probably left the capital by now, although I'm still worried about them.
That Nardell guy, or Nader, I suppose. It was all some trick, and we fell for it. I don't think the nickname The Undefeated applies if he flees from us. Though, maybe he only got that name by running away. Can't be defeated if you run off, right?
Nader the Undefeated? With a name like that, he's bound to put up a damn good fight. Did you get a good look at Judith? She practically had hearts floating out of her eyeballs when she looked at Nader. Pretty dense, aren't you? Trust me, pal. No one's seen more heart-eyed women than this guy. She's got it bad. It makes all the sense. Even seasoned warriors aren't immune to love, pal.
Just recently, the fish in the pond suddenly started thrashing around like mad. I didn't know what was going on, and then I saw something gleaming in the southeastern sky. It happened right when you were out on campaign. I wonder what it could have been.
We're heading up to Embar next. I hope I make it back safe so I can tell my little sis about it.
I hear they got a neat opera house there, where Manuela used to perform. What was it called again?
Haha, that's the one. My little sis always goes on about how much she'd like to see him perform. I know we can't see a show, but do you think we could at least see the building?
Just a few months ago, I thought it was impossible to secure a victory against the Imperial Army. But you've shown me miracles can happen after all. I believe that victory is within your grasp.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me! Enbar's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire. It's one of the sacred sites of the Seros faith, so it's a pretty big deal. But hey, no need to worry about the monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
It's such a relief that we've made it this far without having to fight my father. You bet I'm scared. The Imperial Army hasn't lost a single battle with my father on the field. If he turns up as a reinforcement during the assault, we might lose. I'd better make my peace with that.
Once this battle is over, what will become of Fargus and Fodlan? My hope is for a world at peace. A world in which this present turmoil is a thing of the past, the stuff of legends. I believe those who survived the atrocities of war have a duty to create a new, better world. So the sooner we can stamp out such turmoil, the better. We must win, Professor. There is no alternative here. I won't allow for anything else.
Of course, the Alliance is making sure that the 5 Great Lords help with the effort, but we'll be getting support from the smaller territories, too. I'll bet this is the first time those territories have worked so closely together, at least since the founding of the Alliance.
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle. I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her. Ooh, you don't mince your words. Try being a bit more mindful of other people's feelings. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know, no matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
"10 years ago, Dagda and Bridget attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital. But they were countered at a port town long before they reached their destination. I guess our attempt has been more successful than theirs, all things considered."
So, Enbar, the capital of the Empire. It's finally time. I never thought I'd live this long. It's like any battle, really. Stay calm, stay focused. Don't give in to the enemy or your own fear. Striking down the Empire is my offering to His Highness. I left the kingdom. What am I saying?
The Empire's army should be divided now, with significant troops still in the west. If they don't assert their authority over the Old Kingdom's lords, they'll never know when an uprising might start. Ironically, as soon as we capture the Imperial capital, the Old Kingdom's lords are likely to rise up immediately.
There are all kinds of rumors about you spreading through the Alliance. Some say you're the new embodiment of Saint Seros herself. Claude's popularity has certainly risen too. Somewhat.
I was taught from a young age to believe that the creed of Seros was just the way of the world. To question it never even occurred to me. But Claude and Edelgard are different. They challenge the common wisdom, even defy it. It is uncomfortable to discard familiar assumptions, but that is an essential quality of the visionary. Indeed, true greatness must lie beyond common sense. That's good. I should write that down.
The whole of the capital is going to be a battleground. The city has such a long heritage. Even so, perhaps it deserves to be reduced to ashes for once. But we can't let the common folk get hurt. We should try to confine the damage to the noble section of town.
Did you know? A magnificent canal flows through downtown Enbar. It's said to have been constructed under the guidance of Saint Seros before the Empire was even formed. Ever since, that canal has been a major lifeline for the capital's development. And now this is how the Empire repays it. Truly, no good deed goes unpunished.
Those things appeared as soon as we got ourselves set up in Fort Mercius. Think what might have happened if they'd have hit us during the battle at Gronder Field, assuming it was the work of the Imperial Army.
My friend, the reinforcements the Lord sent are finally gathering. Truth be told, Fort Mercius would have made for a better base of operation. But that weird pillar of light changes things. It's pretty scary, honestly. I wonder what it is. Makes sense, but whatever it was, I've never seen destructive power quite like it. I wonder where it came from. Well, I guess pondering it is a waste of energy for now. Let's just get ready to move out. The capital is Edelgard's domain, so she has the advantage. It's going to be a tough battle.
It's been so long since I've been to the Imperial capital. I used to go to the opera there with my mother and brother. I never thought my return would be like this.
Here we are, facing the final battle with the Empire. It's been a long, difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back. And we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Geralt. I don't know what comes next, but we can sort out those details later.
With the Empire destroyed, the borders within Fodlan will likely become a thing of the past. With that, the rules of trade will change. Personally, I'm excited to see what these changes will bring.
Invading the capital and smashing the Empire. I wonder if doing so could really end this war. Care to share your thoughts, Professor? Perhaps you feel similarly to me. The whole mess puts me on edge. Although for now, better to focus my efforts on the fight at hand.
We're about to put the finishing touches on this war. I wonder how Fodlan will look without the backdrop of death and destruction. I can't wait to see it. On the other hand, I'm terrified of what the future might hold. Who knows if I'll survive the assault on the capital?
Enbar. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be returning like this. Of course, most of the nobles in the Empire make their home in the capital. In the kingdom, all nobles live in their own domains, so if the capital is attacked, it doesn't necessarily affect them directly. What will happen to the Imperial nobles when their capital becomes a battlefield?
We're finally going to the capital. This will be my chance to avenge Captain Geralt. Once we smash the Empire, I'm sure his soul will finally be able to rest in peace. Monica killed Captain Geralt for the Flame Emperor, and the Flame Emperor was Edelgard. I know that the future of all Fodlan rests on this battle. Nothing else is more important. But for me, this is personal. For Captain Geralt's sake, I'm going to give it all I've got and more.
Rhea will be somewhere in the city. I wonder if she can sense us coming. If we are able to save her, then I expect you will learn many secrets that have hitherto been kept from you. Are you prepared for that? That is unfortunate. Well, you must become ready. The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Enbar's streets are paved with unhappy memories, Professor. I've avoided the damned place ever since I abandoned my nobility, swore never to return. Now here we are. To return in this manner, well, I can't say it is something I ever imagined.
It's very likely that Lady Rhea is confined in the Imperial Palace. If so, then our strategy will be to gain control of the streets and then assault the castle. A street battle followed by a castle invasion. It's just one battle after another. It'll be tough, but we have to win. For Lady Rhea.
Professor, at last, the end is nigh. I love the Empire. Part of me wants it to survive, but I know that is not reasonable. The Empire's time has come. What we need now is a mighty leader who can rebuild Fodlan and rule it as a single nation. Nonetheless, it saddens me that we will not have an Adrestian Emperor.
I was born in Enbar. My mother and father met in a church there. Not too long after, I was brought into the world. I do not understand how war can happen in such a precious place. It is most regrettable.
Whenever I think about how we'll be seeing Lady Rhea real soon, I get happy and really get cleaning. We'll get there for sure, right? We'll see her again? I just gotta believe Lady Rhea is waiting for us in the capital. We just have to find her.
Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh. But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win. Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting! I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Remember that battle 6 years ago? Oh, I'm guessing you do. Anyway, remember that knight who watched over Abyss with me for a while? I've been on the hunt for his whereabouts, and I finally found out what happened to him. My friend is no longer with us. Dead. Figured as much, but now I know for sure. I did get to meet his big sister, at least. I'll never have the chance to thank him for our time together. But maybe I can find a way to help out his sister instead. Betty would have liked that.
Those lights that came down on Mercius. I might have seen them before, here at Garrick Mach. They looked like they'd rained down right on top of us, but at the last moment they veered off. I think they crashed into Aelel. Must have been the goddess's blessing that protected us.
I don't know much about Almyrans, but I guess I have something in common with them. We're viewed as different because of where we came from. There must be a lot of people like us. You're not sure? Well, I bet there are. And if that's the case, maybe Clodster's got the right idea.
Destroying the walls that separate Fodlan from the outside world strikes me as a bold step. I've spent so long struggling to reclaim the past that Claude's vision of the future casts me in a poor light. Oh, did you think I was serious? As if I would ever admit to a fault. Ensuring that the tradition of House Nouvelle continues uninterrupted is a noble task.
Claude's quite the idealist, isn't he? Not that I've got room to talk. His ambitions are lofty and, well, reckless. One false move, and Fodlan is done for. Although, unrelenting idealism with a dash of recklessness can change the world.
After making preparations at Garreg Mach, the Alliance army marches to Enbar, the Imperial capital. In response to the Alliance's movements, Emperor Edelgard orders her trusted retainer, Hubert, as well as the Death Knight, to the front lines to meet the Alliance army head-on. The two forces clash in the city streets.
There it is. Enbar. The Imperial capital and the largest city in all of Fodlan.
It's not just big. This city was designed to protect the castle where the Emperor lives. It's as though the city itself is a massive stronghold.
They surely noticed us approaching some time ago, and yet...
Our scouts confirm the citizens haven't been evacuated. They're being kept in town.
I've got to hand it to Her Imperial Majesty. Using her citizens as a shield to protect the castle takes some resolve.
I suspect those mages will be lurking within as well.
Troops deployed to other areas are also returning.
If we don't conquer the city quickly, things will get complicated fast.
We can't search until we conquer the city. Let's focus on the fight for now.
Lady Rhea, please be safe.
We've kept the Empire waiting long enough. Onward! We were told Hubert would be leading the enemy forces, but the Death Knight's also with them. We'll have to take care of both of them, but we won't have time to mop up all the enemy units. We'll have to split up and take them on at the same time, or risk being overrun by their reinforcements.
It's here! The Crest of Flames banner! There, on the other side of the canal!
Uninvited guests, I see. Let's ensure they receive a warm welcome. Ready the artillery. Prepare to attack. Rocks, arrows, magic. Rain death upon the enemy until they are silent as the grave. Reinforcements will fly in shortly. Defend the heavy weapons until they arrive. I should have disposed of you a long time ago. I will rectify that failure here.
I have no need of you. I've been waiting for you. To kill, to die. To know one without the other would be maddening.
Okay, just Hubert left to deal with.
We are taking heavy losses. We need more troops. It's almost a shame to kill you. Not even death will make you consequential.
It's over, lapdog. Your military rule is at its end.
For every step you take along that path, our thorns will cut into your heels.
Ooh, that sounds painful. I'll have to wear thicker soles for the march.
If your boots are too heavy, you won't be able to lift your feet. But enough prattle. We must place our faith in Her Majesty. Her victory is everything.
Well done, everyone. Now we can break through into Enbar. We need to hurry up and attack the palace to block Edelgard's movements. We've made it this far. Somehow. Edelgard is probably looking down on us from somewhere in that castle.
I wonder if she's panicking or just smiling smugly.
From this point on, she'll be giving it her all, too. Expect her to be tougher than the last time we fought. This battle will settle things once and for all. We'll attack as soon as everyone is ready. Huh? Is that you, Dedu?
I heard the Alliance's army had entered the city. I've been searching for you ever since. I am waiting for a chance to kill Edelgard. I have not yet been blessed with the opportunity.
Well, if you want to fight alongside us, we'd be more than happy to have you.
We fight for different objectives. I swore to offer Edelgard's head to His Highness. But, should I fail, I will have no choice but to entrust that mission to you. This is the information I have gathered during my time in hiding here. It includes details about the inside of the castle.
I appreciate this, but what do you plan to do? Don't tell me you plan to go alone.
I've done what I came here to do. Farewell.
Hey! Wait! He's gone. He's just as hard to understand as his liege was. The time has finally come, my friend. Once we win this fight, the Empire will fall. The subject is heavy on my mind. Odd as it sounds, I believe the forces responsible for destroying Fodlan are also responsible for protecting the livelihood of its citizens. Everything, even the land itself, has been harmed by the chaos of war. Restoring it will be no easy feat. To do that, the first thing we need to think about is a new ruling system for all of Fodlan. As usual, we're on the same page. I was thinking the same thing. Even if the Alliance lords and any remaining influential nobles were to divide up dominion of all of Fodlan, they would simply pursue their own interests. Another war would be inevitable. That's why there needs to be a powerful ruler who stands above them all and unifies Fodlan as one nation. A new ruler, huh? I think I've got someone in mind. My dreams await in a future where Fodlan is no longer ravaged by war. There are things I want to see with you someday. I'll keep thinking about the best way to achieve that goal. Whatever we decide to do, we can't do it until we defeat the Empire. Fodlan can't welcome a new dawn until we win the war. Let's prepare as best we can.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Garland Moon. Conclusion of the Crossing Roads. On the streets of the Imperial capital, Alliance forces crush Edelgard's army and take up the perimeter of the Imperial Palace. The time has come to face Emperor Edelgard and to free Rhea from her clutches.
Is everyone ready? The objective of this battle is to defeat Edelgard and rescue Rhea. According to the information Dedu gave us, the throne room is directly north of the castle's main entrance. It's safe to assume that's where Edelgard is. She's a fellow student to all of us. If there's a path that we can walk together, that would be preferable. But that all depends on Edelgard. If she won't yield, then that's that. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill her. I ask that you and everyone here prepare yourselves to do the same.
Understood. I think I speak for everyone when I say that we are prepared.
The future of the Alliance. No, of Fodlan is at stake. I have been prepared for this my whole life.
Captain Gerald taught me that indecisiveness is a weakness. One must cast aside their doubts before fighting.
The lives of Lady Rhea and everyone here are more important than all else. I shall be prepared.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she took one look at my overstuffed muscles and surrendered in tears then and there.
I really hope that Edelgard will yield.
Edelgard is a stubborn one. I don't think she's likely to surrender.
Goddess, please protect us.
I'll fight with all I got to save Lady Rhea.
Rescuing Lady Rhea is my dearest wish. We must prevail no matter what it takes.
In the name of the Knights of Seros, we'll bring the hammer down on the Imperial Army.
Satisfied yet, boy? Everyone made up their minds a long time ago.
Okay, let's get started. We're yours to command, my friend. Everyone, take your positions. The battle is upon us.
They've made it into the palace, but it's actually the perfect chance to turn the tables on them. Defeating them all will turn the tide of war instantly. Taking a risk on dragging us back from the brink is the only option. Everyone, prepare for a bitter struggle. Victory to the Adrestian Empire!
There are more enemies inside the palace than I thought. It's gonna take a lot to bring this situation under control. But if we defeat Edelgard, then victory is ours. Everyone, let's go! Our bashful little emperor has locked herself up behind the door of the throne room. The key should be around here somewhere. We need to find whoever's got it and take them out. I wonder how Dedue's doing. I hope I get to see him again.
So close. Must press on. Ugh.
Infiltrators! Kill them!
I must confess, I never imagined that you would be able to pursue me this far. I don't mean to belittle your skills, Professor, but you far surpassed my expectations. Inform the troops. Destroy anyone who sets foot in the throne room. Your ideals. I understand they're not so far removed from my own. But without sufficient knowledge of this land's suffering, I can't entrust Fodlan to you.
Perhaps. I dare say it's true that I don't fully understand the history of Fodlan. Still, I've seen many things in my life. Don't worry. I'll finish the job for you.
This has nothing to do with where you were born. That we are fighting now is only a result of the choices you've made. So I'm going to give that the response it deserves. I will crush you with everything I have. Professor, I suppose you think you can defeat me, is that right? But I will never give up. Even if my arms and legs failed me, I would still find a way to move forward. I will smash that false goddess and her minion into the ground. I will fight to free this world from her vile grasp.